sir.
I gotta go. I'm driving to Houston tonight. I started out the morning in Court and Thibodeau.
How you doing, Miss K?
Your family. John, oh no, I said I could come over.
I'll be here. I'll be outside. Oh, okay.
Down there.
No, I'm just saying, but right.
You're here. It's you.
How are you? Did he use the room? Oh, turn around. What's up, baby? Oh, was he? Okay.
I saw his truck right there.
I got you.
I mean, like, there might be. I mean, it's always just actually the same short. I didn't really know this was what I thought she was over here. And then they were like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Big red, yes.
Usually, thank you.
What up, Corey?
What's that?
You right?
Yeah, I had a fight, man.
Oh, did you win?
I won't know till after the meeting.
Okay.
Roast a bit.
Yeah, shoot me a text message. Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Man.
How you doing, sir?
All right.
It's good to see you.
We're going to call this regular meeting of the City Council to order. We're going to ask Mr. Vizanart to lead us in the pledge, and I'll lead us in the prayer. Oh, Heavenly Father, I want to pray and ask that you watch over us this day, Father, that you guide us and keep us as we have this inclement weather come through. Bless all the families, that there's no accidents and no deaths. Lord, I ask that you watch down upon our City Council clerk as she goes through some health issues. We ask that you pray for her family and strengthen her, guide her. Bless the administration and my colleagues that we may make sound decisions based upon wisdom and your will. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please face the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gonna ask that everyone be patient with us today. This will be Miss Shelley's first time, and we're not gonna move as fast as we normally would, so that we can cover everything.
Mr.
Okay.
Bilbo? Here. Mr. Young?
Here.
Mr. Harvey?
Here.
Mr. Marks?
Here.
Mr. Vizino?
Here.
Mr. Fondell? Here. Mr. Weatherford? We have a quorum.
Okay. We're going to please vote on the minutes.
Wait, okay, now? Now vote?
Now vote.
Excuse me, hold on a second.
It's all right, take your time.
Okay, now vote. 6-4.
Okay. We're deleting, we're deferring number 2 to February 4th, 2026. We're deferring, is this deleting or deferring?
Deferring.
Deferring.
Yes, sir.
5, 6, 10, 11, 12 till February 18th, 2026. And we're deferring number 19 until when? 2 weeks from tonight? 2 weeks from tonight, or the 2 regular meetings from tonight? Next regular meeting. We're deferring to the next regular meeting. You got a date on that, Mr. Stutes?
February 4th.
February 4th. Okay, we're deferring number 2 till February 4th, 26. We're deferring 5, 6, 10, 11, and 12 till February 18th, 26. And we're deferring number 19 to February 4th, 26. Any questions or comments? Appointments. Appoint a chairman to review bids to purchase 2 new side loader refuse trucks for use by the Public Works Department Solid Waste Garbage Division. Mr. Fondell, would you take that? Yes. Number 2 is deferred. Number 3, public hearings. An ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the City of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 712 William Street. Freddie Mark Johnson, estate owners. Mr. Hester.
Good evening, council, and this is a storm damaged structure. The roof is okay, but there's exterior damage to the exterior walls. There's exterior damage to the windows, and there's some siding issues and interior damage, weather damage to the interior.
I'd like to offer at this time into the record photographs of the subject property and proof of service to the marshal's office. This is
Ms. Terry Sam, or Sapp.
Sapp.
State your name and address for the record, please, ma'am.
It's Terry Sapp, 4390 Lake Fairway Drive.
Okay, tell us, Ms. Sapp, what you like to see happen.
So, after speaking with family members, we'd like to demolish it.
You want the city to do it?
No.
Okay,
But we are looking, wanting to know what the time frame is for something like that.
okay. Mr. Harvey?
Yes, I spoke with her previously before the meeting. I'm offering normal delays because she would like to look into pulling a permit and getting it demolished by a contractor. So I'm going to suggest normal delays. I just said if we get to that point, just please contact Mr. Hester if it's getting to the end of that deadline and you haven't got
Okay.
it demolished.
Okay.
Okay.
And I do have a list of contractors if you need it.
Okay.
So I recommend
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
no problem. I recommend normal delays.
Normal delays, please vote.
7-4.
At this time, Mr. Rubin. I think, Ms. Shelley, we had some things that we needed to add tonight.
Yes.
Move that up. We got a intro for final action of an ordinance to modify the front-end documents for DR 002, Public Works New Facility Phase 2, to remove the subcontractor percentage limit. First, we need to vote to put it on, right?
Mr. President, it requires a unanimous vote to put this on as emergency action item tonight, and then a 2/3 vote to approve it.
Okay, and what we're doing, we're putting this on the agenda for introduction and final action. Again, we need a unanimous vote. Please vote.
Sorry. Okay. 7-4.
All right, taking this up right now. Any, Mr. Herman, go ahead.
We're reading this in now, Shelley?
Yes.
Introduction and final action of an ordinance to modify the front-end documents for DR 002, Public Works New Facility Phase 2, to remove the subcontractor percentage limit. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Lake Charles, Louisiana, in regular session convened that, Section 1, the front-end documents of DR 002, Public Works New Facility Phase 2, are modified to delete the limit on the maximum percentage of subcontractor work to be performed on this project. Section 2, the mayor of the City of Lake Charles and/or his designee are further authorized to include any provisions in any agreement which he deems necessary to protect the interest of the city and to pay all costs from appropriate city funds.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
He's going to explain the emergency nature of it.
Okay.
Okay, currently in our front-end documents, we are limited to 49% of the work being performed by a subcontractor. For architectural and building projects, this just does not work. Typically, a general contractor will sub out different disciplines such as electrical, plumbing, et cetera, and so it's very normal for a project to exceed 90% subcontractor work. If we keep this limitation at 49%, we are likely to get no bids on our Public Works new facility, Phase 2 project, and we are up against a timeline. If we delay this project any further, we will not be able to meet our CEA agreement with Chenault and the property swap that we agreed to, and this could limit our ability as a Public Works Department to perform work for our citizens. Furthermore, there could be some consequences associated with not upholding our end of the agreement with Chenault.
Mr. Herman, if I can, is 49% our standard language, or no?
49% is our standard language. I'm not sure if that was, when that was modified or changed. It was brought up for this project and another one. The other project, we were able to stick within those limits. This project, we are not able to stay within those limits.
I find it hard to believe that we could ever stay in the, when you said most of them are 92%.
I agree. We will be reviewing these documents
Yeah.
going forward to adjust the language.
The standard language.
Yes, sir.
Question, why couldn't we just ask Chenault for an extension? Why would it delay our swap?
Okay, so with Chenault, we agreed to a certain date. So if we delay anything in our bid process, we can't meet that deadline because we're so tight. The construction is going to take so long that we are going to struggle to even meet the current deadline, so we can't handle those delays. With respect to asking Chenault about an extension, I'm not sure what the driver was for the initial deadline. That may be a hard deadline for Chenault. I'm not sure. I wasn't part of the initial negotiations. Now, I can look into that, but I would not want to delay this approval to start a negotiation with Chenault for an extension. As you know, any of those discussions will take time.
Okay, so help me to understand. The 49% is the amount that we can give to
A
subcontractors.
subcontractor, yes.
And that becomes a problem because the contractor can't.
Typically on a building, a general contractor will sub out 90+% of the work.
Okay.
Right. In theory, a general contractor can do zero work and subcontract out up to 100% of the work. It's fairly common in that type of business.
I would just hate for us to rush and do something when we could have asked for an extension to give us time to make sound decisions. Not necessarily the 49%, but I'm talking about the land swap and all of that you say we're on the timeline for.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So I don't know what we would do, Mayor, or what you're thinking on it.
Yeah, my more concern is that if this is going out to bid, we don't get any type of bids on this, or we may be struggling. I'm just catching up to speed on this, so we need to figure out what the 49% doesn't even sound right in terms of contracts, because you're right, most contractors, they
do very little.
Yeah, they don't do the work. Most of that is done by subs.
Correct. We will be investigating this and likely revising our front-end documents going forward. This item today is so that we can keep this project moving that is up against a timeline.
It's not out for bid, it's under construction.
It is being advertised with a bid opening date of February 16.
So this increase doesn't cost the city any more money. It
No.
just allows them to hire more.
Correct. It likely will decrease the cost of the project because it will fall into the norms of the general contracting business.
Well, we should have started with the decrease.
Well, if I can interject, Mr. President, clearly this is an anachronism that we need to revisit and change in all of our bid documents. And in fact, as he's pointing out, the ability to do this and allow more than 49% subcontracting is going to allow us to get more bids and allow the project to possibly be done cheaper.
Gotcha.
So-
Gotcha. All right, any other comments? You heard decrease. You heard decrease. Okay. Please vote.
7-4.
Thank you, Mr. Steve.
Thank you.
Okay, we have, Mr. Rubin, if I'm not mistaken, we have another one, correct?
Yes, sir. It's a resolution.
This is a resolution, introduction and final action of an ordinance to modify, no, that's the other one. I got the same one. Go ahead and read it, Mr. Rubin.
As a resolution amending resolution number 313-23 to include additional funding for the Louisiana Office of Community Development to be used in support of construction of the city's Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Funded Indoor Recreation Center.
And just for, you need to read something in, Mr. Stoots?
I'll read the actual resolution. A resolution amending or otherwise supplement resolution number 313-23 to include additional funding from the Louisiana Office of Community Development to be used in support of construction of the city's Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery CDBG-DR funded indoor recreation center, and to confirm and extend the authority granted to the mayor to sign, execute, and administer any and all relevant documents.
And just, any questions or comments? Just for clarity, the 10 million that we're talking about was the 10 million that was already a part of the sports complex. We're just following a procedure that means that we have to make an ordinance for that every so many years, if I'm understanding correctly?
Well, it needs to be renewed, and then it needed to recognize that there was an additional $10 million that came in since we first did the ordinance in June of 2023.
Okay, and just for clarity, it's not 10 million extra.
Not 40 million.
No, it's not 40 million. So, any questions or comments? Please vote.
7-4.
Number 4.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
that was just to add it to the agenda, so it,
We need to vote on it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, the first, no. Okay, so we just adding it.
yeah, I was just asking if he wanted to speak, but it,
Okay, all right.
Was the adding unanimous,
yes.
Shelley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, so now you can
All right.
debate or vote on the actual resolution.
And so is this treated as a, similar to an ordinance, or we just take the emergency nature?
No, because this is a resolution, it's not an ordinance. Yeah,
I just wanna make sure.
yeah, it's not commit. Yeah.
We good? Everything good?
we're good.
All right. Number 4.
Now you vote.
You need to vote. You voted to put it on, now you have to
Okay,
vote.
all right, for final action. Please vote.
7-4.
Number 4, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 3023 General Twining, Gertrude Ann Savoy and George Watkins Savoy, estate owners. Mr. Astor.
And this is a storm damaged structure, and you can see in the pictures, there's quite a bit of roof damage to the structure. There's some exterior wall damage, window damage, all exposed in the interior to severe weather damage of the structure.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer into the record photographs of the subject property and proof of service through the Marshal's Office. This is a rehearing from November 19th.
We have no cards. I don't think there's anyone here to speak on it. Mr. Bilbo.
15.
1515, please vote.
7-4.
Number 5 is deferred. Number 6 is deferred. Number 7, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter into agreement for demolition of a structure located at 518 Lobato Street, front house only. Jerome Murray, owner. Mr. Hester.
And this one, the roof's okay on this one, but there is some exterior wall damage. There's some windows that are damaged and that have been boarded up for quite some time, all exposed to the interiors to severe weather damage of the structure.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer into the record photographs of the subject property and proof of service through certified mail. This is a rehearing from December 17th.
There's no card. Mr. Harvey?
1515.
1515, please vote.
7-4.
Number 8, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 210 North Booker Street. Dorothy Mae Collins and Harry Lee Simeon, estate owners, subject to a tax sale to the state of Louisiana. Mr. Hester.
This one has severe roof damage. It's in the verge of collapsing. You can see in the pictures there's exterior wall damage. It's open to the public, exterior window damage, and all exposing the interior to severe weather damage of this structure. We've had lots of complaints.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer into the record photographs of the subject property and proof of service through certified mail on 2 of 5 of the total heirs. This is a rehearing from December 17th.
Mr. Harvey.
1515.
1515, please vote. Number 9, an ordinance ordering demolition and authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement for demolition of a structure located at 2103 Opelousas Street. Sandra Pete Anderson, estate owner, subject to a tax sale to the state of Louisiana.
And this one is a residential structure. The roof is okay, but the house has pretty bad exterior wall damage. Some of the walls look like they're going to collapse. There's exterior window damage, and it's open to the public. I'll expose the interior to severe weather damage of this structure.
Mr. President, this time I'd like to offer in the record photographs of the subject property and proof of service through the appointment of a curator. This is a rehearing also from December 17th.
No card. Mr. Harvey?
1515.
1515, please vote.
7-4.
Number 10 is deferred. Number 11 is deferred. Number 12 is deferred. Ordinance for final action. Number 13, an ordinance authorizing the City of Lake Charles to accept the lowest responsible bid and to enter an agreement for project number CP 3019 Sail Road Bridge repairs. Mr. Young?
Yes, sir. I want to point out, too, this is a bridge, I believe, that connects Councilman Weatherford and I's district, so happy to see it built. The city received a total of 4 bids on this project. I recommend that we accept the lowest responsive and responsible bid submitted by Perk Development, LLC, in the total amount of $669,294.50.
Yes, sir.
Especially for the new guys on the council, this is basically a repair. This is basically a repair to the bridge that was previously constructed by, I assume, I don't know if the previous contractor bid or not, but basically there were some defects in the work. So we actually reached an agreement with him and with the previous contractor who's put the money into, I don't know if it was an escrow, but some sort of judge. So we actually are not having to pay for it out of our funds. It's funds from the previous contractor for their lack of providing what they contracted to do. So it's just a repair to fix what wasn't done properly before.
You good?
Good to know.
I just want to make a comment at this time. This is a while back. It was either myself or Mr. Harvey. When these bids come up, we have that period where they say a 45-day lien period is
Right.
completed, and we question the fact of who goes out and checks and makes sure that these projects are where they're supposed to be at the time that they were done. And I think we need to put some more emphasis on that because of this very situation. We paid for something that was defective, but we should have, I'm saying this in my ignorance, that we should have caught this.
Mr. Marks, we did.
You did?
We did catch it. Our engineers caught it. We knew about it. It's not an emergency, but the work needs to be redone. The reason we held off on it because of the work being done on Prairie Lake Road, we did not want to close both roads off at the same time. So that's why this one was postponed, but we did catch it during our inspections.
Okay, good job.
Mr. Marks, if I may, just to respond, so a little clarity, and I can talk to you about this offline anytime you want.
Okay.
The two things you were just talking about there are a little different. The lien period is more to protect us from possibly having to pay people
Okay.
twice on the same project where we paid the contractor, but he hadn't paid his sub. That's the lien period. That's what we're checking there. Here, we're talking about substandard work that was discovered after the project was done. It wasn't about a lien. We figured out that the contractor didn't do proper work, substandard, and now there's a settlement that's going to fund some
So
repairs.
when we hear 45-day lien, we're talking about a protection for us.
For us not to pay people twice.
Okay.
So this is slightly different. This is about later discovering that the guy didn't do the work the way he was supposed to do.
Gotcha.
This is more of an inspection
Yeah,
thing.
well, and what that requires, anybody that performs work on a project, even if they're not the general contractor, they have a right to lien that particular job. So the 45-day period means that whoever has a lien has to file that in the public record. So once that is searched through the public record and justified that all the contractors have been paid, then we go ahead and close that out.
And that lien period's over, then we can pay the contractor. And if someone was to file a lien after that lien period,
Not liable.
we don't have to pay them. Yes,
Gotcha.
sir. That's exactly the way it works. Yes,
Gotcha.
sir.
Any other questions or comments? Please vote.
7-4.
Number 14, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsible bid and authorizing the City of Lake Charles to enter an agreement to purchase one new 3-wheel sweeper for use by Public Works Department, Streets Division. Mr. Bilbo.
On file number 429-25, there had no responsive bids received.
Okay. And we're sending any date, we send that back out?
For the rebid?
Rebid.
Rebid.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't need to vote on that. Number 15, an ordinance authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter into a professional services agreement with Allied Universal to provide comprehensive security detail coverages for the city, for City Hall and the Transit Division building for a 6-month period and to amend the budget as necessary. Any questions or comments?
Mr. President, just one correction. I spoke with Councilman Fondale. He picked up that the exhibit that was attached in that tab for number 15, it still had the previous language that talked about the downtown area. But as you recall, y'all had amended that to reflect just the transit building, City Hall, for a 6-month period. That was passed and then deferred. So just to clarify, this is what you're voting. This is what you're voting on. It's only the City Hall transit building 6-month period.
Okay.
And Mr. Corey showed me the document.
And it
Okay.
also includes a 30-day cancellation provision, right?
Yes, the agreement says that we, at any time, either party can cancel this agreement with 30 days' notice.
So can we bring it up on the screen or
The resolution?
the new one? Corey?
The ordinance for, yeah, yes, you can, but it does still have the old language, but you did, well, I guess you can amend it to remove the downtown lakefront and other buildings as needed.
Okay, now for me, I did see a copy of it. Mr. Corey did.
She did, the ordinance that Renee read in had the correct language. If you, are you
Okay.
able to post it?
Oh, yes, where would I locate it? In the meantime, we'll come back to that. Anybody got any questions in regards to this? Mr. Bilbo?
That's it.
Okay, I'm agreeing with the 6 months, but are we gonna have a plan to do if this don't work in 6 months?
Yes.
We're working on it.
As a matter of fact, we're working on that right now to get those buildings secured by proper law enforcement. So this is because of certain incidents, we feel there's some risk out there, so we need some sort of security presence while we work through those issues.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just want to concur. I like this solution because it gives us something now. I don't think it's a perfect solution, but I say we talk a lot in the next 6 months to make sure we have a real good solution.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we're doing this now.
Well, and it's not just for, I mean, this is for these buildings, but, you know, we've got a lot of projects that's about to go into construction and come online. So we need a comprehensive security plan for all of our assets.
Okay, I'm gonna speak out. I'm not in agreement with this, and I'll tell you why. I'm not in agreement for one, because we've discussed in previous meetings that this allied service cannot arrest anybody. They can't detain anybody, and the city is gonna be on the hook if anything happens. I know in previous discussions we've had, they have insurance, they have the city as a rider, but I'm of the firm belief we have a city police department that is supposed to protect our cities. I know they tell me that we're shorthanded and all this other kind of stuff, but I know one thing: people are not taking vacations for the city police. In other words, when you take a vacation, what do? What do you do when that person go off a vacation? You make somebody work overtime, and they cover that area. So I'm not in agreement with paying extra costs to hire somebody, and our city hall needs to be protected. Our transit city and all the other business need to be protected. But we have a city police that we are paying right now for this particular service, and I just feel that we should come up with a plan or some kind of way to make that happen before we go out and put ourselves in a position where we could potentially be sued. So I'm against this hiring Allied. I think that it should be the city police, but it comes down to a vote. That's my stance on it. Any other questions or comments?
Yes.
Mr. Harvey.
Just for the record, I'm going to abstain from the vote, just because of reasons dealing with my personal job with the security company. But I just want to go back and just reiterate. Last time we deferred this, if I'm not mistaken, I second the motion, but I wanted to make sure that we were clear. I too am for the Lake Charles Police Department securing our most prized assets. I was here today. It brought joy to my heart to be able to see an armed LCPD person here in the building. I do feel like I've got much respect for everybody in the building, and there's no disrespect to any security company, no matter what their name is. I just feel like I would be safer and feel just a little bit more protected for our people to be protected by our Lake Charles Police Department. I just feel like we should exhaust every measure that comes with that. So that's just my stance on it. I still think in the 6 months, I know we're going to probably get it passed tonight, and I agree that we need to be protected, but I just feel like we need to exhaust every measure as far as that being done with the Lake Charles Police Department.
Mr. Fundell?
I'm willing to support this because of the mayor, but we look awful bad. I got a call from a worker at the transit. They've been dealing with this issue for quite a long time.
We have, yes.
And I called the city police, and they said they didn't know anything about it. I talked with chief deputy, they didn't, and then he calls me back. He go do his research, and he said, Mr. Mondale, we got a lot of calls been happening here. And I said, well, you got to do something. And we simply parked the vehicle, that we made an action and quieted all of that down temporarily. So that shouldn't have to come to the council to deal with this like this. It shouldn't get that bad. And I don't understand how the transit can have such a problem and nobody respond, and it's been going on for quite a while. The worker that called me was worried about someone getting hurt. Now, I'm willing to give the police department, the mayor, everybody, but we need a comprehensive report on exactly how we're moving forward. We don't want to just hear everything working fine. I want to see a complete detail how we're going to deal with this from this point on. 6 months to get it together, but get it together. You know, that's why I'm voting for it. But this is not good at all.
And let me say, Mr. Fondell, that everyone's known about this problem for a while, so that is inaccurate. We meet with the chiefs regularly and we discuss these kind of security issues. So if anyone told you that they weren't aware that we were having issues at the transit center, that is not accurate, and that is part of what we're going to be dealing with. So we're just asking for this as a stopgap, because we're not going to just go out there and put a Band-Aid on it. We're going to fix it once and for all.
Yes, but Mr. Mayor, the workers said everything is quieting down. Now, it was an issue before, and she did so. Nothing was done, even though everybody was aware of it. No immediate action to protect employees was done at the moment. You know, it's been ongoing, but these are city employees that we have an obligation to protect. Okay.
Mr. Bilbo?
For me, I want something more like, in 6 months, we not going back with Allied. In 6 months from now, we need to have a deal, work with the city police. And I got nothing against nobody making money. I made money working overtime, but I don't believe we should have to pay someone $60 an hour overtime to come do their job. If you think you is a danger in this building and the transit water building because it collects money, it should be our job to protect these people. Not force somebody, or not if somebody on vacation. It should be mandated that we have somebody here. If somebody feel threatening, I don't see why we should be cutting a deal with it. But I'm fine right now with giving my vote for it. But in 6 months from now, I don't want to hear, man, we just ain't worked it out. You know, we need to start working it out yesterday, but we fine today.
And Mr. Bilbo, I will tell you, you're absolutely right. We're not going to cut deals with our city departments. They're going to perform their duties and do their jobs. We're going to demand that. So like I said, this is a stopgap because we are aware now that there's issues over there, and this is what we're trying to do to secure these facilities and our employees. But we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to fix up a plan and have a plan going forward, because as more facilities come online, we're going to have these same issues that we need to have a plan already in place to address. This place, City Hall and Transit, has never had security. Right now, we have officers, but they're working on overtime voluntarily to come out and secure these buildings. We need to have that as part of the regular routine of the department.
Because eventually, it's like, I can't remember, there's so many hours men can work before fatigue set in, and then you're not properly doing your job.
Mm-hmm.
So we really don't want to wear our police off,
right.
Police officers down on overtime when we might need them for something more. So I think the plan should set for them not have to do that much overtime to do it.
Yeah.
If a man working his regular job and coming here 5 days a week, you're eventually going to wear him down.
I would agree, Mr. Bilbo, but I'm of the mindset if we can go work at Walmart, we can go work at all these other places, we can come and protect the mayor and the people at the other offices. The other question I have is, what is this costing us? I haven't seen a cost anywhere. Anybody got any cost on what is this gonna cost us for this 6-month period?
Yes, sir. It's about $100,000 a year, so probably around $50,000 to $55,000.
For the 6-month period?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Please vote. Well, you had a card. Oh, I forgot you, Mr. Brown. Well, hold the vote. Cancel the vote.
Cancel that vote.
Mr. Brown.
I almost said it, don't worry.
I'm sorry about that, Mr. Brown. It wasn't a slight, wasn't purposeful.
Just another one of those mistakes, I guess. Miles Brown, 1020 4th Avenue. I'm glad y'all was able to discuss some things about the cost and everything. I just want to say that when I think about these security guards, I don't want to make it bad, but it kind of reminds me of like some substitute teachers. And many of us were in school, and y'all remember when we had substitute teachers, the dynamic kind of changed. We knew we could get away with certain things for whatever reason, and sometimes it would even embolden us to do things that we would never even think about doing to our regular teacher. So that's kind of how I see it with these security guards. Another thing I want to bring is an example where when I was in school, there was a fight in another classroom between two males. And the teacher was a male teacher, and he followed the school protocol, which is not to break up the fight, but to tell them to stop and then alert the office to make sure there's a sheriff that was there to come. Now, while the fight was going on, my female teacher, another class, they came to break up the fight. Now, although they weren't supposed to technically break up the fight, they did what was necessary, which was to deter the fight from continuing to keep happening. So after that happened, I remember my female teacher told us to never do what the male teacher did, which was to just sit there and watch. And the reason I bring that up is because that male teacher, although they were following policy, is kind of how I see with these security guards. Believe it or not, I know a lot of security guards within a variety of measures, whether they work at banks, hospitals, stores, you name it. And many of them may like their job. I mean, some of them may take their job too serious, but I'm willing to bet you when something serious happens, they're not gonna put themselves in harm's way in order to stop something from happening. Whether they have a flashlight, walkie-talkie, a whistle, or they just have a gun, they're not gonna put themselves in harm's way. So the real thing, wait, hold on, I got more.
You got 3 minutes. That's what I was telling you.
minute.
You got
Got
an
1
extra 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So that's 4, right?
Okay. Got,
Okay.
That's 4.
You
Okay.
have 4
All right.
minutes left.
Okay. Another thing, well, now we say that. Yeah, so it's really more just about, like I kind of brought up last week. I'm all for security. I'm all about making sure things are safe because you can't put a price on human life. But really, it's more about, is this going to be money well spent? And I kind of see this more as it being kind of like a PR stunt where if something were ever to happen, hopefully it never does, here it is that you have security and y'all gonna say, well, oh, we had security and they were supposed to do their job, but unfortunately, it just, mistakes happen. And it might look good on paper legally, but no one's really gonna care whenever these mistakes happen, something serious happens, because believe it or not, it's just from what I was told last time, December 3rd, it's only gonna be one security guard here and one security guard at Transit Center. There's only so much that security guard can do. So if that's just one security guard, do you really expect them to proceed or really stop a lot of threats that's going on? And do you actually really feel safer now here, let's just say City Hall, that now we have one extra security guard? I don't really think that's gonna make anything better. It's possibly gonna make things worse. Like I used the example with a substitute teacher, I see that with them where it's actually gonna make people wanna try these security guards even more. So I'm all for just making sure that if there is a way to exhaust where the local law enforcement here, police or sheriff or marshal, whatever the case, if it is possible, I think it would be better off for the city to do with them rather than these top flight security guards. So I think that'll be all.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Any other questions or comments?
Real quick,
Mr.
Ultimately, that's the plan. That the 6 months is a stopgap, and if we can get something with the currently commissioned law enforcement agency to handle this for us, hey, if we can get it done in 90 days, it'll get done in 90 days. That's why we have the 30-day cancellation policy. So I think this is a good stopgap, but I agree that we want to have currently commissioned law enforcement officers protecting the city, so, the buildings, so.
I agree.
I think everybody's in agreement. I just wanted to state that really for Mr. Brown, that this is not intended to be long-term in any way, shape, or form, so.
Any other questions or comments? Please vote.
6-4, 1 abstain, 1 nay.
No, 6 what?
Oh, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 5,
Got
4.
five. Got one abstention.
And 1 nay.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Shelley. Number 16, an ordinance amending the City of Lake Charles Ward 3 Marshal's Office budget for the addition of 1 position allotment of deputy marshal and to amend the budget accordingly. Any questions or comments? Please vote.
7-4.
Number 17, an ordinance authorizing the City of Lake Charles to accept the lowest responsible bid and to enter an agreement for project number CP 3224 Muirfield Drive Drainage Phase 2 and amend the budget as necessary. Mr. Weatherford.
Yes, sir. We have, we had multiple bidders on this item, and my recommendation is that we award the bid to the lowest responsible bidder. The contractor is Hackley Enterprises, and the total bid amount was $605,902.57, so I move we accept that bid.
Any questions or comments? Please vote.
7-4.
Number 18, an ordinance approving an amendment to the City of Lake Charles 2019 Action Plan to reprogram unspent Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus CDBG CV funds to the Gosport Park Improvement Number 2 project. Any questions or comments?
Question.
Mr. Harvey.
Can I get an update to differentiate between what was LC rebound funds for JD Clifton and what was coronavirus funds?
Yes, sir. Where's Mark?
Sorry, could you restate that?
That's okay. The only question I have, Mr. Mark, is that I know we had money allocated from LC Rebound from this particular park, but with the projects that we were having, are we going to just cancel out? I know I spoke with your mayor about what we're going to do with Gosport Park. Are we going to just cancel out what we were doing with the previous funds to replace this that was coming out of LC Rebound eventually and replacing what we use it with the coronavirus funds?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, these are being used to, do your
splash pad,
the splash pad and the
putting greens.
Putting greens.
And that's the only reason I'm asking. I know that was part of LC Rebound. That's why I'm asking, are we going to just...
Mr. Harvey, there's still funds. There was 2 pots of money for JD Clifton. Some of it was the coronavirus funds. The other was some funds out of LC Rebound.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have funding for LC Rebound for JD Clifton. And we'll be getting with you on that to find out how much of that do we want to continue with JD Clifton and what do you want to move over to Gosport.
So basically, since the coronavirus fund came out of surplus, basically, I'll be able to do something in addition to what we were going to do at JD Clifton.
At where?
At JD Clifton, because the putting green was going to be there. Since it's not going to be there and it's going to be paid for with a different funding source, I'm just asking we'll be able to do something in addition to.
For the projects that were at JD Clifton, there was 2 funding sources. There was these funds and there was also LC Rebound funds.
Gotcha.
The only thing that's being moved tonight is the coronavirus funds.
Okay.
But you still have...
Yeah, I guess what I'm still asking is, never mind, I'll save it for another conversation. I just wanted to know how we're going to differentiate which projects we're going to still keep and which ones we're not.
We're going to get with you and have that discussion.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
So, Mr. Harvey, you in favor of this?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Are you in favor of this?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Please vote.
7-4.
Number 19 has been deferred. Number 20.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mr. I called the mayor on all of these professional agreements.
uh-huh.
And Mr. Marks.
So you at number 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mr. Marks had requested some information and I have no idea what we're voting on. It just looked like a blank check to me, and I'd like to defer all of them from 20 until I can't vote on something that Mr. Marks had requested some information I never got a clear picture on it, and like I talked to the mayor, I have a responsibility for oversight, and I can't do that by not knowing.
So you want to defer 20 through 39?
Yes.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. President,
Mr. Mayor.
you had requested each of these contracts, and I received the email this morning that the engineering department had put them into a link, so I did forward that to the clerk of the council and to you guys, so you have a chance to review it. Then we can sit down and talk about it so we can get these back up.
So would it be next regular meeting?
We do it February 4th.
Okay. We're gonna vote to defer 20 through 39 to February 4th. Any questions or comments? Please vote. Number 40. An ordinance enlarging the boundaries of the city of Lake Charles, Louisiana by annexing property generally described as the east side of the 1200 block of Highway 397, vacant lot south of 1295 Highway 397, containing 2.21 acres more or less, defining with certainty and precision the territory to be included in the corporate limits of the city of Lake Charles, Louisiana, and otherwise providing with respect thereto. Any questions or comments? Please vote.
7-4.
41, an ordinance assigning zoning classification of industrial to property generally described as the east side of the 1200 block of Highway 397, vacant lot south of 1295 Highway 397, containing 2.21 acres more or less, defining with certainty and precision the territory to be included in the corporate limits of the city of Lake Charles, Louisiana, and otherwise providing with respect thereto. Any questions or comments? Please vote.
7-4.
42, an ordinance assigning Councilmanic District B to the east side of the 1200 block of 397, vacant lot south of 1295 Highway 397, containing 2.21 acres more or less, defining with certainty and precision the territory to be included in the corporate limits of the city of Lake Charles, Louisiana, and otherwise providing with respect thereto. Any questions or comments? Please vote.
7-4.
Number 43, an ordinance authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement with the Louisiana Emergency Equipment LLC, doing business as Delta Fire and Safety, for the purchase of 4 sets of Amicus Rescue System tools. Any questions or comments? Please vote.
7-4.
44, an ordinance authorizing the city of Lake Charles to enter an agreement with D&W Drilling for inspection, cleaning, and repairs of water wells G8, G9, G13, and GH West Water Plant for use by the Public Works Department Water Division. I have a question in regards to this. Would this have been considered a professional services agreement?
No, sir.
So this went out for bid.
I was told that this went out for bid, and it's been, this D and W have been cleaning these wells for many years.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking.
It went out for bid. I don't know when it went out for bid, but it has been, it went out for bid.
So that's a continuous thing. Like if it happened 10 years ago, they're still under that same bid.
No, they're not. I would say they're not, sir. I don't know when, but I will say that I was told by my water division, Mr. Guillory, that this company has been, it's for 3 to 5 years that they do these. They do these every 3 to 5 years. All these wells have to be done, so it rotates.
So that bid had to be for at least 3 to 5 years before.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. President, if I
Yes,
may,
sir.
these would be different from the items you deferred, items 20 through 40. No, items 20 through 39, because those are professional services agreements. They're not covered by the Public Works Act.
Okay.
This is repairs to Public Works. It's covered by the Public Works Act, so we have to bid this out.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. Any other questions or comments? Please vote.
7-4.
Number 45, an ordinance authorizing the city of Lake Charles, Louisiana to incur debt and to borrow from the Louisiana Local Government Environmental Facilities and Community Development Authority an amount not to exceed $145 million for a term not exceeding 30 years at a rate not to exceed 6% per annum for the purpose of financing public improvements within the city of Lake Charles, approving the form and authorizing the execution of one or more loan agreements and other certificates, documents, and instruments, and providing for other matters in connection with the foregoing. Any questions or comments? Mayor, do you want to explain what is this in reference to?
Yeah, this is the bond issuance that the electorate made on Lake Charles rebound. So this is authorizing the borrowing, the issuance of all the bonds. We're not taking all of the bonds now, but this is a blanket issuance. The first tranche with projects that are ready to go is going to be an amount of about $60 million. We're going to pull those down now, but instead of coming back in increments, this authorizes the entirety of the Lake Charles rebound bond issuance.
I see some of the people involved are here today. Can we question them?
Sure, you can. We have Mr. Kern from the Jones Walker firm. He can introduce whatever team they brought, because they brought the financial people from Steele and also from Raymond James.
Good evening, Matt Kern with Jones Walker, and we've got representatives of Raymond James, Stiefel, and government consultants in the audience over there.
Okay. Y'all have any questions in regards to rebound? Can you explain to me how the process works?
Sure. So we're actually nearing the end of the approval process here. As you remember, we started years ago with rededication of sales taxes, changing the propositions around, extending the term of some of them, and you know, we've been working through the bond approval process for a little while now. But you'll proceed through a conduit issuer. That's the Louisiana local government entity that you read into the minutes a minute ago. That's the conduit issuer you used out of Baton Rouge in the early 2000s. One of the reasons for that is when you do a bond issue through them, you can promise to repay the loan from what we call all lawfully available funds. So you essentially have a lot of flexibility to pick and choose which source makes sense, you know, each year, depending on how sales tax revenues look one year, or if there's another influx of a different source of money. So you have flexibility each year on what you use to repay the loan. Started the approval process with the LCDA, went to the State Bond Commission. They approved the bond issue back in December. And then after we get your approval today, we'll go back to the LCDA for one final approval, and then we're ready to market bonds and close. So that'll be up to you know, mayor and staff on the timing for that. But looking like in the next few months, we'll be ready to start that process.
How long do we have to use this money?
So each bond issue, you basically would size it to a level that you feel comfortable you can spend at least 85% within 3 years. It's what the federal tax code requires. And so that's one of the reasons for the $60 million estimate that you heard. It's kind of making sure that you have projects that are ready to go, that you feel like you can spend the money in that 3-year window.
So if we don't spend this money in that timely fashion, can we get an extension?
So the test in the tax code, and it's kind of getting down to the weeds a little bit here, but you have to reasonably expect on the day that you close that you will spend that money in 3 years. So we'll need to have some conversations to make sure that the projects that are in the first phase are ready to go, and size the first tranche accordingly. And then so the next couple of tranches will depend on when projects are ready to go and how fast you think you can spend the money.
So when we take that 60, how long do we have to where we can draw down on the rest?
There's really no time limit. I mean, you want to make sure that you're nearing the end of spending the money that you have from the first bond issue. But that 85% in 3 years window really starts from each issue. So if you have a defined set of projects, for the first closing, that's around $60 million, and you have different projects for the next phase, you don't have to wait 3 years for the next series of bonds. But that's it's coordinating all of that. It's something we'll work on with, depending on where projects are and how fast the money is being spent from the first phase. But you don't have to wait 3 years between series.
Do we have an emergency mechanism in it? Like, let's say we draw the 60, and we come to a situation on one of these projects where we need some more cash fast. Is that an expedited way of doing that?
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons all the approvals are based on the $145 million rather than what we think the first size is going to be. So I mean, each subsequent transaction, the approvals that I mentioned with the LCDA and the Bond Commission, they also approved $145 million. So we have the ability to execute a second transaction fairly quickly.
When you say quick, how you talking about? 2 months?
2 to 3 months.
shit, we can get that fast. That's a debit card. How, we can't let that money sit, can we?
No, like I said, you have to expect that you're going to start spending it immediately, but you can invest it in a project fund and earn some interest off of the money that's in a project fund while you're waiting to spend it as the projects are progressing.
So we can take that money and put it in a project fund and get money off of it.
That's right.
So that's considered spending?
It's not spent until it's spent, but you have a limited period of time under the tax code that you can actually earn interest on the money and not have to rebate it to the IRS during that 3-year window of time. After that, if you earn more than the allowable amount of interest on the bond proceeds, you might actually owe rebates to the federal government.
But I'm curious to what you say we can move the money and invest it. Is that the terminology you use?
That's right.
So
at closing, say it's a $60 million bond issue. 60 million minus whatever the cost of the transaction, where it would be deposited in a project fund and immediately ready to go, as projects are ready to spend money on. But until the money is spent, it'll be sitting in a trust account, invested.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's going to be invested in something relatively liquid.
That's right.
obviously. We're not investing in stocks.
There are state laws that
Market
dictate
area.
what you're allowed to invest in. That's right.
State laws, and Mr. Marks and Council, please also understand that we have, in 2027, it's the final payment of the $90 million bond issue that was issued back for Hurricane Rita. So that's part of the equation that we're looking at too. Want to get that debt out the way so we can do more debt service as we bring the bonds down.
So just for clarity, you said that each year we can change how we pay that. Meaning like this year we using sales tax, next year we could use something else.
Right, it's a little bit more nuanced than that. So essentially what the description I gave you of lawfully available funds, that's basically any pot of money that's available to be used by the city that's not dedicated by the electorate or by a federal grant or something that's inconsistent with the projects that you're funding. So, but that debt service can change. The source of the payment for the debt service can change year to year based on, say you have a big construction project going on and you have a lot of sales tax revenues that year. You may decide to pay all of the debt service from sales tax revenues that year or split it up among other sources. But this mechanism allows you to be flexible with the source of money you use.
So are we getting the money from you?
No, sir.
Where are we getting the money from?
John Q. Citizen.
He's just.
We can have some of the investment bankers come up and describe that process to you.
I want to know where we're getting it from. Might be dirty money.
Your investment bankers are the ones
You
that
and
are
me.
going to broker the bond.
Yeah, they're going to broker the bonds.
Right, they purchase and resell the bonds to investors, but I'll let them describe it to you.
Good evening, Stephanie Ferry with Raymond James.
Okay. That's Mr. Hollins right there.
Yeah.
That's a famous man right there.
So Hollis is with Steve.
Whitney Laird and Josh from Stiefel.
Good evening. Okay. So how does this work? What do you do? We go get the money from you.
That's correct.
Where do you get it from?
So we will go through the process to get the documentation in order, and once what we call a preliminary official statement is finalized, it lets investors know exactly what they're buying. And so once that document is finalized, we will send that out to our investors, the underwriters will. So Raymond James and Stiefel will electronically email that out to all of our systems. So all of our sales force, institutional salespeople as well as retail salespeople will then begin discussions with investors once that POS has been published. And so typically within about a week to 2 weeks of when that POS is published, we will set a pricing date. And if market conditions are favorable, if it meets your requirements, and with the concurrence of your financial advisor from Government Consultants, we will enter into what's called an order period on the day of pricing. That's typically about a 2 to 3 hour period, at which point we'll take orders from investors. And in some cases, we have some bonds that may be oversubscribed, meaning we have more orders than we have bonds. In some cases, we have undersubscription. And so we will work to adjust those yields to get investors to drop. We'll bring those yields down, or try to bring investors in by increasing those yields, but all staying within the parameters that were set by the city and your municipal advisor.
So we get that money before all that takes place?
No. What will happen is, once we've finished that order period, what we will do is sign what's called a bond purchase agreement that sets down the legal agreement between you and the underwriters for the sale of those bonds. And in approximately, I don't know, anywhere from 2 weeks to 30 days, we will have the final closing where all the documents have been finalized and signed, and we will wire the money to you on that date. And then we will be collecting the money from our investors.
Do we get a chance, like, does the mayor get to say, oh, no, that interest rate too high?
Yes. So, Dee Dee Riggins with Government Consultants, serving as your municipal advisor. So we have been working on this transaction for a while, and we have been having conversations with your administration on like what we expect to pay. So let's say in the event something wild and crazy happens and the rates go up, we will make a recommendation that we pull out. That's the beauty of having a negotiated deal and having these two writers who have been doing business for a long time in this area, is that we have an idea when we need to pull out. But before we move forward with signing the BPA and all that, we will have conversations with admin and finance to make sure that they're comfortable with accepting those numbers.
When you say pull out, that's
not priced that day. Like if the rates are not within what we feel is comfortable for the city to pay back, we will pull out that day, not go out to the market and sell and just try it again. We have done that previous in other transactions if we feel the market is just too volatile.
So for this 30 days, we're gambling?
No, we're not gambling. It's done.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're just letting you guys know in the event that the market does get volatile, we would suggest pulling out, not going to sell that day. But in the event that you do move forward with that sale, we won't execute a BPA until we have conversations with the administration to make sure that they're comfortable with moving forward.
But once that bond purchase agreement is executed, it's done. And the only thing that has to happen then is the wiring of the money at that point.
What will cause y'all to ask for the money early? Is there any situation? So we good?
Once the bond purchase agreement has been signed, for the most part, yes, it's good. It's just a matter of the documentation being signed and finalized, and then the wiring instructions to be sent so that we can send the wire. I will tell you that there are some outs in that bond purchase agreement, like war, insurrection, something like that causes huge disruption in the market, could cause the bond purchase agreement to be voided, but those circumstances are rare. I will also say that we use a system that's called Game Day that will allow you to look at the order period. You can watch those orders coming in and you can see exactly which maturities are oversubscribed or undersubscribed, so it's very transparent.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Mr. Weatherford?
I know it's going to be up to 6%. Do you have a feel for what you think the market's going to be willing to accept?
As far as an interest rate?
Right.
Right now, they are favoring what's called premium bonds, so it's a 5% coupon, but the market yields are less. I will say that, just looking at what we were looking at about a week ago, we were estimating what's called the true interest cost to be around 4.4%. And so basically, that's the interest rate that will present value back all of your debt service over the life to what you receive at the closing.
Right, and these will be, if we choose to, if interest rates go down, there is a provision that allows us to basically buy those bonds back, refinance those, or not.
Well, after the call period.
After the call
sure,
period.
I understand that.
Yes.
I understand you can't do it in 30
Immediately.
days.
There may be a
Right.
lockout period that we'll have,
Right.
discussions.
Just like
And they'll
any
be
most-
reflected in those documents as well.
Okay. And ultimately, more than like, most of the buyers are going to be institutional buyers.
For this size of a transaction,
Right.
yes. Louisiana just doesn't have the wealth levels for there to be a really large retail participation. Yes.
Any other questions, comments? Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Please vote. Ms. Shelley, we have 45A. We've already taken care of that, correct? Following resolutions may be adopted by consent. Anybody have anyone they want to pull?
Yeah, I'd like to pull 50T.
Okay.
Number 50.
Number 50. '47 and 48. Anybody else? Okay. Number 47. A resolution authorizing that a special event permit be issued to the Knights of St. Peter Claver, number 141, to allow for a parade route of 5.2 miles for the 2026 Knights of St. Peter Claver Mardi Gras Parade on Saturday, February 12th, February 7th, 2026. Mr. Harvey.
Yes. I'm sorry. This pertains to both of them. I've gotten calls from the organizers of these parades. At some point, did we change the process of how we doing it? Because what I'm getting now is they're saying that it has to be signed off by the councilman. I was never told about that. Just trying to get clarity on it.
Correct.
Good evening. It's not a change in process. It's just going to the way the process was always originally meant to be done. So there are certain provisions in the ordinance that require some parades to come to you guys. Horses, always. 1 horse, 2 horses, 200 horses, always require council approval. And then there's certain thresholds with route length, so over 2.5 miles in length, or if the ATV or UTV limit is over 100, the chief is only authorized to sign off on up to 100 of those types of entries. Beyond that, the council has to approve it. The reason why the organizer is asked to come to the council member and ask you guys to put the item on the agenda is because we want to make sure that since that is affecting your district, that you are in support of that. You're having, multiple ATVs, horses, these large events going through residential areas in some cases in your district. And so we want to make sure that you guys are in support of that and have had the opportunity to have any questions answered, meet with staff if you need to make adjustments to that. And then it can be brought forth to be considered for adoption.
So I know previously it was a discussion with the marshal's office. So that process is.
That process has changed a little bit. The parade applications are now coming through the permit center on the 7th floor at City Hall, and they're being kind of hand walked through that process. And from there, they still follow the same basic steps. The marshal's office has to agree that they can staff it with the manpower. The event center, if it's lining up on their grounds, Mr. Podorf has to sign off and say, yes, it's okay that day. If the ATVs are in there, the chief has to sign off on it. All those steps are still in place. The only difference is now they're still getting the permit application from the marshal's office website, but when they turn everything in, it's getting turned into the 7th floor at City Hall. I will tell you that we've been working for quite some time on an online procedure for that, and that is coming. We'll be doing some training next month on that to be able to bring that process online. So it'll be a form that the organizer can go online, enter all the details, and it'll prompt them. If you meet is your route longer than 2.5 miles? Do you have horses? Is it over? And it's going to give them steps of what they need to do next. You need to go get the marshal, and it'll automatically at that point trigger sending that application to the marshal's office to have them sign off electronically on it, to the chief to sign off electronically. Ultimately, it ends up at the mayor's desk. But the ones that do require council approval, you guys have to adopt that resolution before the mayor can sign off on it.
So there is no signature for us because I was told by the organizer I needed to sign.
No, sir, you do not have to sign it. Your only agreement is, yes, I'll put that resolution, I'll support that resolution, I'll put it on the agenda for consideration.
But just one more question. So I know previously I've had conversations like with Marshall Keller as far as, hey, this is enough ATVs, this is enough horses.
Yes,
you guys are still going to provide the guidance as far as safety is concerned?
Yes, sir. And that's why we ask the organizers to reach out to you guys to bring it to your attention. So if you do have those concerns, you can reach out to us, but we still will come to you and say, are you okay with this?
Okay.
And just to add on, the reason why it was all brought back into City Hall is because the marshal's office was handling a lot of that, but they weren't set up to look at the insurance requirements and everything else. So some people were booked at already reserved parades, but they hadn't fully complied, brought the insurance requirements. So now we have where everything has to go through the permit center before, and then the marshal signs off on the security portion of it, and we sign off on that everything is in order.
Any other questions? Please vote.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbs.
Number 48, a resolution authorizing that a special event permit be issued to the Lake Charles Mardi Gras to allow 150 recreational vehicles and 50 horses in their 2026 Mardi Gras parade scheduled for Sunday, February 8th, 2026. Mr. Harvey?
It was the same question. I'm sorry, it was the same question. Ms. Katie answered.
Please vote.
7-4.
Number 50, a resolution declaring Lock Park and Nellie Lutcher Memorial Park as family-friendly zones during the 2026 Mardi Gras parade activities and requesting the Lake Charles Police Department enforce the provisions of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Lake Charles that prohibit the possession, consumption, and/or sale of alcoholic beverages in parks within the city of Lake Charles and prohibit parking within Lock Park and Nellie Luttrell Memorial Park grounds during the 2026 Mardi Gras season. Who was number 50? Somebody wanted to, go ahead, Matt.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to pull this to call attention to the fact that I've heard it said Lake Charles has the second largest Mardi Gras celebration in the state based on the number of crews, balls, events, registered parades that we have. Part of that love for Lake Charles Mardi Gras is cherished in the fact that it's family friendly. We put barricades lining the streets to protect our children, and we designate places like Nellie Letcher Memorial Park and Lock Park as family friendly, no alcohol, no drug zones. So I wanted to say thanks to the city for doing this. It is what makes our celebration here special, and really draw attention to that. Thanks.
Any other questions, comments? Please vote.
7-4.
Number 52. Before you.
That's a companion that would have been with the one that got deferred to
Okay,
February.
that's what I was finna say
February
down there.
4th.
Yeah, okay.
So it should be deferred.
It's
To
deferred.
February 4th with,
Good.
Okay.
yeah.
That's, I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
That's good.
Okay. Anybody else? 53A. Miss Shelley, which one was that? We need to read it in. 53A 14.
We already did that.
That's
Already
the one
did?
we
That was
just-
already done. Okay. With that being said, we'll go. Number 46, a resolution authorizing a special event permit be used to the Southwest District Livestock Show and Rodeo to allow horses to be included in the 2026 Southwest District Livestock Show and Rodeo Parade to be held on January 29th, 2026. 49, a resolution authorizing that a special event permit be issued to Mardi Gras of Southwest Louisiana Incorporated for a series of parades to be held Friday, February 3rd, 2026 through Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 in celebration of Mardi Gras 2026. 51, a resolution authorizing the city of Lake Charles to advertise to receive sealed bids to purchase fire truck equipment for use by the Lake Charles Fire Department. 53, a resolution setting date for public hearing on consideration of the Lake Charles Planning and Zoning Commission's decision to deny a request for a variance in order to construct a new. Question, point of order. Can I go back after I've read all this and ask a question on 53?
Yeah, you can just pull it.
Okay. 53, I want to know why do they need the setbacks? It says a resolution setting date for public hearing on consideration of the Lake Charles Planning and Zoning Commission's decision to deny a request for a variance in order to construct a new restaurant with a 10-foot landscape buffer along both streets frontages versus required 15 feet within the business zoning district at the northwest corner of Contraband Road and the Parkway. First of all, I'd like to know, why did planning and zoning deny that?
They heard the testimony, and I think if you read the minutes, there was concern about placement of sidewalks. I mean, Mr. Vizano brought that up. The standard setback for parking lots abutting a right-of-way is 10 feet across the board citywide. There's an additional 5-foot requirement along major corridors and arterial streets to anticipate any widening of those corridors. And that was the purpose of the additional 5 feet. They are requesting to eliminate that additional 5 feet and keep the standard 10 feet.
What?
Because, as you told me, the modifications to the road have already been done. So,
And that happens a lot, you know.
some of their questions, if I may, were about, was there enough room for a sidewalk because of the pedestrian bridge being built? They assure me that there is plenty of room.
But planning and zoning denied it.
By a vote of 2-2.
It just didn't pass.
It just didn't pass, and that's their discretion.
So is that different from a denial?
No, that is a denial.
Okay. So,
Denial.
and I'm just bringing this up because Mr. Weatherford pointed this out several meetings ago about us getting in the habit of overturning planning and zoning denials. And I don't want us to get in the habit of, they get this particular section that we're dealing with, if we're not careful, is read all and one and we vote all as one. So this particular
All
This is
Denial.
just setting the
All we're doing
hearing.
is
This
setting
is
the
just
date
setting
for
the
the
hearing,
hearing.
Mr. Martin.
Oh, it's just setting the hearing?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you'll get to
Yeah,
fully vet the issue at the hearing.
And so they're coming back to us?
That is
Yes.
correct.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
my
this
bad.
is just a
It will be
resolution
at
setting the
the
hearing.
February 5th meeting.
Okay, good, good. That's why we got all y'all here. All right.
May 4th, I'm sorry, wrong day.
February 4th.
February 4th, the next meeting. Okay.
You'll hear that
We can hash it out then.
All right, good deal, good deal. They're all read in, please vote. The following ordinances are for introduction by consent and will be read into the record the day following this meeting at 9 a.m. in the City Council chambers at City Hall. This meeting is adjourned.
Good meeting.